Hello again there, everybody. This is going to be Jund League number 100. We did it. We made it to triple digits. So, for Jund League number 100, I guess we do have something kind of special going on, and that's that Modern Horizons has been recently released. Modern Horizons 2, that is. And we get to try a bunch of the sweet new cards. Mana Traders is still having stocking issues just because the set is still relatively new and the demand is pretty high, so people tend to rent out the existing copies pretty quickly. So I was unable to get some of the cards that I was trying to test, but I was able to get a good chunk of them that I was trying to test. So we were playing 4 copies of Ignoble Hierarch, 3 copies of Grist the Hunger Tide, 3 copies of Obsidian Charmaw, and 2 copies of Break the Ice. So in total we've got 12 new cards, which is pretty exciting, 7 in the main, 5 on the board. Not at all convinced. I have no reason to believe that these are the correct numbers for any of these cards. But while the cards are still fairly new in terms of the lifespan that they've existed in, I just want to see them as often as possible so I can really get a grasp of how powerful they are, what they can really do. But I guess what I will say so far is that I was not at all optimistic about Ignoble Hierarch, but it has felt just fine so far. We were always able to have those early multi-spell turns by playing something like Birds of Paradise or even Noble Hierarch, but we really don't do that because 1-mana dorks, they tend to be great in the first 1 or 2 turns, but they significantly drop in value later on. They just feel like a worse land. But I mean, having a land have Exalted on it can be relevant. So far, Ignoble has actually felt just fine. We've attacked with a 4/3 Dark Confidant. We've attacked with a 7/6 Bone Crusher Giant. So I mean, adding to the clock is not nothing, so I've been pleasantly surprised so far, but still not convinced that it deserves like a main staying position in a deck that looks similar to this. Grist, on the other hand, has looked absolutely phenomenal. It checks all of the boxes for me, and what I mean by that is it's a 3-mana walker, comes in at 3, already the alarm bells are ringing. It's got a +1, which gets it immediately out of bolt range, which is huge, and that +1 defends itself, which is really huge. And then the -2 kills problematic creatures and planeswalkers. So all in all, like this planeswalker, like not even looking at the -5 or the static text, I'm already very excited about this card. And the static text in this deck means it does one of 2 things. It counts itself and other copies of Grist in the yard for the -5, and also relevantly, which we've done in the past, we can use Kolaghan's Command to return it, because this returns creatures, and this is a creature while it's in the yard. So that has felt pretty cool and pretty powerful. We haven't seen these sideboard cards be absolutely outstanding yet, but that's also probably because we haven't seen any of the big mana Tron type decks. So we just haven't really had the spots where this has been really good. So we did bring it in once versus actually a living end opponent. We did a little Force Science experiment where we brought in other of our own personal discard outlets. We brought in 3 Brutality and 3 Charmaw. We tried to combine that with the Brutalities and the Lilianas and even Kolaghan's commands to discard our Charmaws so that we would have something good to bring back. And it actually ended up working. So, I mean, that was a cute little experiment, and maybe we try that again going forward if it comes up. So, the deck has felt pretty sweet so far, and I've been optimistic about all of the inclusions. So, let's quickly take a look at the current Modern metagame, so we can get into the leagues shortly after. So again, this is a 30-day refresh rate, so this isn't going to be immediately characteristic of what we're expecting to see, because everyone's running around with their new Modern Horizons 2 brews. Today's the 6th of June, so Horizons cards have been out for 3 days now, so again, literally only a tenth of the time that this is that this refreshes in, those cards have been out. So this isn't going to be immediately indicative of what we're expecting to see. But that's not to say we won't still see these things with slight Modern Horizons 2 modifications. So we'll keep that in mind when looking at this, and we'll take it with an even smaller grain of salt than we usually do. So let's jump into the matches. And Fujin Blaze, thank you for the follow as well. I think you must have followed when I was doing my spiel before the recording. What's up, Nick? The big 100 anything special planned? Modern Horizons 2 sweetness. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary other than the butterflies in the chest that we hit 100, which is absolutely insane. We've had lots of overwhelming support in the past couple days as well. Probably a factor of Modern Horizons 2 bringing a lot of hype to Modern. I think in the past couple of days I've gotten 50 plus follows, and that's not even exaggerating, which is pretty insane. I think I've got like 400 I've got like low 400s followers on Twitch, and like 10 to 15% of that came in the past 48 hours, which is kind of insane. Play Tron for the 101? No, I wouldn't do that. I actually make a joke. So I don't typically do donation leagues, but people have asked me in the past, and I've done one in the past, and I've got someone asking me about one now. But I say that I'll do pretty much any donation league as long as the deck isn't just gonna have me losing tickets. But for every Tron land you put in the deck, it's an extra $10. So it's gonna be $120 on top of whatever it is I decide it is at the time. If you want me to play Tron. So if you want me to play Tron, I'll do it. But I'm not going to have a good time, and I'm going to complain about it the entire time. Iggy has also been another creature that fills the yard for potential damage with Grist. Yeah, I mean, obviously, any kind of upping of the creature density is going to make the ultimate on Grist better. I think when you're evaluating a Planeswalker, you typically don't want to like look straight to the ultimate, because ultimates occur less than 10% of the time realistically. But we have had the ultimate come up multiple times, so I mean maybe that is something there. Does anyone know of the lore behind Grist? I do not. It looks cool though. How was Hogak? Hogak was a nightmare. What a nightmare. Hogak was. Oof. It was not worse than Eldrazi Winter, though. Ayabugan? Yeah, I mean, like, Hogak you can at least maybe have Leyline of the Void, but versus Eldrazi Tron, there was just not much you can do other than play Eldrazi. Did I play against some new deck like Affinity or the Urza token or Hollow One? I have not played against any of that stuff yet. I have played against Shardless Agent Living End, I think 3 times now. Grist has been very good infected. It's done a lot. Yeah, there are definitely going to be corner cases where anything can be good, but I mean, there's a lot of text on this card. Well, a lot of implied text, which is Liliana on 2, Bone Crusher on 2, Kolaghan's Command on 2, less good, but I mean, any Planeswalker on turn 2 is great. And then obviously, like, having super powerful sideboard cards like Charmaw and Ashiok to also power out. The ceiling on this card is very high, but the floor is also very low. It's polarizing. And Ray81, thank you for the follow as well. Come on, opponent. We've been here for 4 minutes already. All I want to do is cast Grist on turn 2. I accidentally rhymed. Come on. So yeah, if Living End continues to be big, and I think the deck is good, then maybe Voidwalker becomes excellent. I guess to note, I've played against the Living End version of Shardless Agent all 3 times. I've yet to play against the Rhino version, which doesn't just die to the grave hate. Do I think Turak could be a decent sideboard choice? I don't know about sideboard. I feel like that's kind of a main deck or not at all kind of a thing. This hand is so close. Triple Ren and 6 though. Even if we find the land, we kind of have a 5-card hand as is. Got a ship. Better. Let's keep. And I guess I'll bottom the fetch. Let's make it Verdant. We've got Forest already, so Mire just strictly better. Forest doesn't cast Terminate, so I'll have to be careful of that. The opponent is mulligan to 4. Did we finally get the Tron opponent? I actually want to play against Tron because like I want to see the power level of the sideboard cards. I mean, I expect they work pretty much as intended. We get a walker for turn 2, please. Any planeswalker I'll be happy with. I guess not Ren and 6. Alright. Not insane. Forest means that I can't push and terminate on one, but I think it's probably better than paying a bunch of life unnecessarily. Oh, it's Dredge. That can't be good. I guess that makes sense on a mulligan to 4. They hit Narcomoeba and what else? A Chill. They didn't hit any amalgams. So, I mean, this isn't like the nut draw. But it's still pretty bad. We need to find pressure quickly. We need a Goy for a Bone Crusher stat. More spot removal is not what I'm looking for. Let's just get another fetch. I'll probably just push this. Kiyomika, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, triple black is also a lot of black mana. We got another reunion. Brutal. Well, I doubt I'm as lucky the second time as I was the first. I guess they could be casting Ox. That makes sense too. And Daladoback 91, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, this looks like Ox. Alright. On a scale of 1 to luckiest person in the world. They hit the Conflagrate. Still no amalgams. They're playing amalgam, right? There's no way they're not playing amalgam. Alright, let's push this. I guess get Blood Crypt. I guess Overgrown Tomb is kind of free given that we've got 2 more red sources. We've got the mana dork, so if we find something that costs red, we can still terminate and do that thing. We need a Goyf. We need a Goyf. So I can terminate this Ox and play the Goyf. Not what I'm hoping for. Well, this is happening no matter what. If I don't attack with Ignoble, I could keep up push, but I don't really feel like there's something I need to kill. Let's get in for 1. Don't know how they haven't hit a prized amalgam yet. I wonder if there's like a new version that isn't playing it, but that feels impossible. I feel like they kind of have to be playing amalgam. They just like haven't hit them yet. They're playing at least 3 Ox. 1, 2, 3. You think triple black with Ignoble is not that hard to achieve? It's possible. So they get to play Gemstone Mine. They also return to Forgotten Cave. So they can cycle at instant speed. And they hit Creeping Chill as well, which means that these things have haste. They mill double. They are playing Amalgam. They hit 1. Alright, I think we're on a 0 outer though. Yeah, more lands ain't gonna help. You got me. Alright, so we've got some sideboard cards. Probably should put more Grave Hate in my yard going forward. So definitely Spell Bombs. Definitely Ashiok. I like the Plague Engineers. They keep the Bloodghasts down, and we could also name Narcomoeba if we ever really needed to. And then on the play, I like the Brutalities because we can take the 2 mana, either the Thrilling Discovery or the Cathartic Reunion. I'm going to take out pretty much all of the spot removal. Bolt, I guess, can go upstairs, and it could also kill an Ox if we needed to. Liliana's bad. Let's take out Liliana. I would like to take out the other 2. Is something better than the Liliana? Honestly, maybe we just bring in those first 2 bolts that I was just mentioning. This seems fine. You just tried to skip through the sideboarding. You watch too much YouTube. Fair enough. I do that too. Oh god. This is a keep, right? We've got one land, but we've got Ignobles. They mulligan to 6. I think I should probably just lead on Ignoble. If their enabler is a copy of Shriekhorn, though, this could be bad. I mean, I think getting my mana situated might just be more important. It's risky. Please no Shriekhorn. Please no Shriekhorn. If they don't have Shriekhorn, then we have a good shot at just straight pulling ahead. But if it's Shriekhorn, we're gonna be in trouble. Crap. Oh, it's Conflagrate. Okay. We're alive. We just draw land. Okay. So we could Grist here, but I feel like Inquisition plus Spellbomb might just be better. And I'm not going to play other Ignoble because they could Conflagrate both of them. I could just play a Bone Crusher, but I don't want to get Cathartic Reunion or whatever the equivalent is. So let's do this. They do have the Reunion, so let's take that. The rest of their hand's kind of bad. And then, again, not going to play this into a Conflagrate, so let's just deploy Spellbomb. So if they, for whatever reason, decide not to kill the Ignoble, which they probably will, considering they have stuff they want to discard, maybe I spike a land. Yeah, the Dream is alive. There's a Mire. They're probably just going to ditch their whole hand here. I guess maybe a third land has a use. There's Conflagrate mana. Hopefully they didn't just draw another Reunion. That would be really bad. Nope, yeah, they're doing this. So discard an Imp, keep the lands in hand. I could use the Spellbomb now. That does a couple things. If we draw the card now, it means that maybe we actually get to cast our Grist or Bone Crusher on the next turn. We know their hand isn't good, so like even if they draw a Thrilling Discovery or a Cathartic Reunion, it's not going to be that good. I kind of like it. So like if I don't use it here, they get to Dredge. If something stupid happens, I could then use it. But then they've got Imp in their hand, which means that their Cathartic Reunions and Thrilling Discoveries are good draws again. I think I'm using it. We hit another Grist. Alright, well, we're looking for a land. Land? Damn. Alright, well, I guess Ignoble is a worse land. Yeah, you're right, Element, about pitching their whole hand to it. What is this? Another Conflagrate. Can I draw a land, please? Kind of. It's a land every turn after this turn. So now if they just draw a Dredger, they've found a way to re-enable it. I think I'm gonna play Bone Crusher before I do much else. Loam. That's a Dredge card. Like, I need to attack them dead, right? They're at 14. They don't actually have any board presence for the time being. I think I like playing a 4-3 so I can start getting in there. And obviously, like, my mind would be changed if I draw a Spellbomb or a Stomping Ground. Or I guess if I draw a Spellbomb, I can kind of just do it all. Alright, so that. Ashiok. Swamp. Alright, well, I guess I'm kind of doing it all then. Should I go downstairs with the Renin 6? Let's do some math. So, I can still just play the Swamp. Which means I could continue developing my mana. So, I mean, Bone Crusher attacks for 4 at a time. So, I mean, 4 times 3 is 12. Yeah, let's go down. I don't think an ultimate's ever doing anything. Like every point of damage might matter. Creeping Chill is gonna definitely throw the math off. So let's, I guess, hope that they don't hit a bunch of them. They've only got a Dredge 3. If their Dredge isn't insane, we still have a good chance. You're saying Giant gives us an extra shock? I mean, we can still buy back the land next turn. We still have that option to cast other one on curve. They did hit a Chill, but nothing else. So they've got Loam in hand. They can really load up this Conflagrate. Shock? Are they going to Loam Conflagrate now? Yeah, they're just doing it now. 3 at Ren. Discarding lands? Okay. That feels good for me. We do Thoughtseize. I don't think I'm casting that. I think I'm just going to cast another Bone Crusher. We're one off of killing them next turn. We can put them to 1 with an attack for 8. They milled Thrilling Discoveries and Forgotten Cave. Loam, yeah. So they're getting Forgotten Cave, Mire, and Mire. Or Mana Confluence and Mire. So the only relevant thing here is the Cycle Land, which they're cycling for Loam. Trying to hit Chills, I guess. Hit a Bloodghast. Bloodghast does have haste, but we can block it. Can we kill with Grist? Well, we can't immediately ultimate it. They said no on Bloodghast? Interesting. So they're getting back Forgotten Cave and more lands. Oh, hit Brutality. Okay, so they're dead. Sick. I guess we get to see their hand too if there's any spicy tech, so we'll 2-mode it. They could obviously just concede in response. Just all lands, sure. Alright, Bone Crusher hitting for 4 a turn, got there. Dredge. Still Dredge. I mean, I'm not wanting any of these cards in the deck. Satan Redeemed, drink some water, I got you. Actually, that was my last sip, so I gotta get more. On the draw versus Dredge. Probably have to keep this. They've mulliganed. We're missing pressure and red mana. We've got the Spell Bomb, though. They've mulliganed to 5. I don't think this is an easy keep, because the Thoughtseizes have diminishing returns by a large margin. Like, we almost can't even Thoughtseize on turn 1, because we almost have to use the Spell Bomb. Or play the Spell Bomb. Let's just see what we find. We found the Goyf. Okay, so we found the pressure. So Thoughtseize is going to be our best play if their payoff is a Thrilling Discovery or a Cathartic Reunion. It gets pretty hairy if the opponent has only cards that we don't want in their yard. Tetufoda is saying just turn 1 Thoughtseize. I mean, they're not going to get much better past this turn, right? So that would be a strong point going that way. This could really backfire, though. This could really backfire. Please no only dredgers. Watch them veil me. That would be funny. Oh, they have double thrilling discovery. Alright, well, I guess taking one is better than not taking none of them. They don't have any dredge cards either, so as long as they don't draw one immediately, we could be okay. They get to put Bloodghast in whatever they found in their yard, so please no dredger. It was a grudge, okay, sure. We found the Blooming Marsh, okay. So now we're in a similar predicament. I could Thoughtseize again and then just play the Spell Bomb. Yeah, like Spell Bomb is definitely the safer play. But assuming they've only got 1 or 2 copies of Thrilling Discovery, we can really slow them down and still have Spell Bomb, which means that it would be pretty hard for them to win after that. I think now I'm Thoughtseizing again and then playing Spell Bomb, and then I'm not afraid to crack it for no card. They do have Ancient Grudge in the yard, so I'm almost for sure gonna have to crack it for no card anyway. I think the other defensible line is playing Goyf. Well, their hand's 2 lands. Maybe I just don't play the Spell Bomb. They get Bloodghast back. Yeah, let's play it. Yeah, I think not playing Bomb is maybe okay. But I mean, their hand is so bad as is. Like when they play a land here. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm kind of stupid. So they'll just fetch in response. Right, if I pop Spell and they just fetch in response, they say yes to that trigger. Oop. So I should have done it last turn. That was a mistake. I mean, I guess I just let it happen then. Like, it's gonna happen anyway. Yeah, I mean, Goyf can still just, like, straight block the Bloodghast, so it's not even the worst thing to happen. Here comes Grudge. Alright, well, I guess I'll get the rest of your yard. There's nothing relevant in it, but if they find an Ox, this will be fewer cards for Ox. There's the red mana. Here's the Tarmogoyf. Alright, so I guess we're just looking for more ways to hit out their strategy now. Not super afraid of this one Bloodghast, but it could definitely be a problem later on. So Verdant will get Blood Crypt. I guess we could Fetch Shock to Bolt if we really wanted to, but I doubt there's anything that does that. So I think the worst possibles now are, I guess, more of their draw 2 type, their draw 3 type effects, like the Thrilling Discoveries. Luckily 2 of those are gone already. They found a Dredger. Uh-oh. Alright, so they have no attack, obviously. So no matter how many times we kill this Bloodghast, it's just going to keep on coming back. We just draw an Ashiok and make it easy. If we draw Ashiok, I feel like we kind of just win. There are 2 of those. Ashiok? Ashiok? I'm trying to speak it into existence. It was like we could even bolt the Bloodghast and get that too. Do we bolt face to pump Goyf? Maybe. Well, maybe not now. I think I'm going to cycle that to dig towards Spellbomb or Ashiok. We don't have red mana afterwards. I feel like that's probably better. Ashiok? Hey, we hit it! So, if we mill them, we'll still have land, sorcery, artifact in the yard, so Goyf still outsizes Bloodghast pretty healthily. I guess if we mill ourselves, we can maybe avoid getting lightning axed with the Tarmogoyf. We would need to hit 2 types. We've got sorcery, artifact, land. I feel like we might just mill ourselves here, because if they find a lightning axe, I don't want Goyf dying. We still exile their life from the loam when targeting ourselves. So ideally we hit 2 more types that we haven't seen yet. We did it. We're at 5-6. Alright, cool. So now Goyf no longer gets lightning axed. Am I attacking? So the opponent could... They have 2 cards. They're going up to 3 cards. If they have in those 3 cards a not Cathartic Union, if they have a Conflagrate, they can cast it for 0, attack Ashiok for 2, shoot Ashiok for 2. Not attacking feels pretty bad though. Also, if they attack the Ashiok, we could get lightning axed anyway. I feel like I'm probably just playing too scared. Yeah, I'm playing too scared. I mean, the other very real downside of letting them hit Ashiok for 2 is that we only have 1 more free activation. Let's try to end this game. Y'all are saying just attack, don't be a coward. Alright, well that's what I did. That's a lot of damage. Phil Swift here. Cast an Amalgam, okay. So we can now... We can Brutality... Ooh. We could Brutality the Bloodghast, Bolt the Amalgam, and then sweep them both away. And then we're still attacking for 5. And then after that we Bloodbraid, which attacks for 8, which is kill you. That feels good. Alright, so... Kill you... Kill you. And then Goyf is staying at 5-6 no matter what, so let's just hit them. Hit for 5, next turn kill you. Just say Ashiok out loud again before you draw step draw step. Alright, I'll set the stop. I'll have to do it upkeep, right? Because otherwise it'll do it after. Alright, well, unfortunately we didn't get that far. But fortunately, we didn't get that far. Alright, I need to grab some more water. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Forgot my phone was out there for the past 3 hours. Alright. Another one. Yeah, we could have milled the Planeswalker, but that doesn't actually change our clock in any way. And maybe milling them reduces their outs by like hitting something we're not thinking about. If they've got any fun ubs that they're digging towards, maybe we hit it. So We had one instance of Ignoble being bad, and we wished it were just another land in the situation that game. So I'm not going to discount it because of one bad time. They revealed Luris. We've got double Iggy versus Luris. So I mean, we've also got Thoughtseiz's Bolt, and we're on the play, right? Yeah, we're on the play with Thoughtseiz's Bolt against Luris. I feel like that's a keep. I'll probably be just cycling this Forgotten Cave to dig for either green mana or action. They've mulliganed. Why would you ever mulligan? Just put good cards in your deck. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Oh, wow. It's looking like just rock. Alright, well, we've got the Bolt to kill the first problematic thing. I could take the Bloodchief's Thirst because it's the only really unique thing that they've got going. But both of these creatures are must kill. So I think I'm taking the Dark Confidant. I think the Dark Confidant is more must kill, so if they find a discard spell, I'm going to wish that I prioritized the Bobs. Let's do that. Not exactly what we're hoping for. I guess we'll play Swamp, say go. Maybe I should have just cycled the Forgotten Cave now. I'm almost definitely bolting this thing. So my red mana is being kind of occupied anyway. Bummer. Kind of still want to just cycle this. If I play the Forgotten Cave now, though, it means that we can guarantee the Liliana next turn. That might just be good enough. Yeah. Let's not get greedy. Speaking of greedy, this hand with this mana. There's the Verdant. Yep. There's another Voidwalker. This is why we wanted to guarantee Liliana. Can we just draw the green? No. Never lucky. So that they can kick Bloodchief's Thirst. But for sure getting this thing dead. Is this a kick? Yep, it's a kick. Hey, we hit it. Fear my ignoble hierarch swarm, which is about to come down and rain hell upon you. Not really. These things are not that good right now. I'm gonna keep the Inquisition in hand. We know one of their cards is Blooming Marsh, so we might not even hit anything. And also, like, we're going to be able to hit Luris with this thing if they put it into their hand before they hit 6 mana. So I think holding it might just be good. Alright, well, I guess it doesn't matter. You can see my problem. The Jarnsy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. They took an Ignoble? Are they gonna do it again? I don't get it. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. We have a few very good draws. If we could just find a Ren and 6 or a Liliana, we might just be very fine. But if we find a land, it's gonna be bad news. Perfect. 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 Sick, sick, sick. Yeah, at least we know that they could still have Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse, they just can't play permanents that cost a lot. But discard for our discard could be bad. Now they get to put Luris to hand. Watch, it's okay. We'll just draw another discard spell. It'll be okay. Or a Kolaghan's Command. Boo. Well, I mean, they can't recast Bob. Because we would just reshoot that. We did rip and get lucky, but we got pretty unlucky afterwards. So they just get to go Luris plus Delphi now. I'll have to respond to the Delphi so I have something to buy back. Yep. Gonna have to kill that. Pretty much immediately. Alright, we'll get more green, more red. Stomping Ground? I guess this can get Mountain if we really want. Just get Tomb. Alright, we need to be able to kill this. Deck. Hiya. Yikes, that ain't gonna do it. I think we're just dead. I mean, I'll play on for a turn, but this not targeting something is bad news. Like, they're for sure just gonna get rid of the Delphi here. So they could very easily just recast it. Maybe they block? I doubt it. I mean, we don't have a block, or we don't have a block with an O1, so I mean, I guess we're attacking for 2. BDC, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Knock you to a temporary 12. And I think I do kind of have to block. Because maybe we get Liliana loaded back up for another Edict. Yeah, Grizzly Bear Ignoble. Slightly better. It's a 2-3. Noble so good. Not here. We've got plenty of mana. Just cast that Delphi again. You know you want to. Oh, I needed to fetch in response. Oop. I did it right the other 2 times. Alright, I'll put a Hierarch under the Delphi. Yeah, we still have 6. I mean, we need to kill this value engine or we're gonna be dead. Got him. Take a land out of the deck, put it under Delphi. Let's get more red. Black, Blood Crypt. Come on, deck. We've got a window. We need spot removal. That'll do it. So I guess we lead on plus. And I think I'm going to wait until end step because I think they're going to sack the Peatland and I can probably eat that card as well. The issue is like, this has Shadow, right? So it's going to be able to connect with whatever they're wanting it to connect with anyway. So we can't block. So I guess that means we're attacking. The downside of an attack is they're going to realize that we've drawn a removal spell, because otherwise they would just get to hit both of our walkers. If they block this for whatever reason, we could ping it with Ren and 6. Oh, you're right. They also can't block. That's how Shadow works. Alright, so I guess depending on when they sacrifice this peatland, they're just doing it now. Okay. So kill Luris, you discard. So you'll discard, kill Luris. And when I want to do the discard now before they have the option. We hit another Voidwalker, okay. Before they have the option to discard whatever they've drawn off of this and whatever they're drawing for draw step. So they have to hit the Liliana here, but then they could also just use this to have a Liliana of their own in their Luris deck. That's kind of funny. Yeah, only shadows can combat with shadows. Hopefully they drew something not amazing here. If they attack the Liliana, this will actually be tapped. I guess, oh, they can just use Koladon's command, right? That's the issue. They could just buy back the Luris, replay the Luris. Yeah, we're dead. Because they just replayed Douthie now. What's up, Ace? Ignoble's been unimpressive. It's had its moments, but all in all, it's felt underwhelming. Like, if you can turn to, like, a powerful Planeswalker, then it's great. But every other time, it's not very good. Alright, we're dead. Douthie did the thing. I'm not even sure that I want Ashiok. I for sure want Push. For sure want Spell Bomb. Sharma could be interesting. They do play Field of the Dead, and this is almost definitely better than just like a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition. Those are for sure coming out. There's only 3 that we for sure want to bring in. Maybe since we're on the play, Ashiok is good enough to bring in because of Ignoble. It does combat the actual Ignoble. It does combat the actual Luris plan, which is what we lost to. Companions are good. So now I'm wondering, does either Brutality or Charmaw have a reason to be in? Raul, I don't know why that command just likes to stop working. Let me fix that. The bot just leaves my chat for no reason. So it's Stream Decker. Yeah, it for whatever reason just decided to leave. This is the second time today it's done that. Should work now. Did I say Field of the Dead? If I did, I meant Field of Ruin. Which cards do I recommend to buy from the new set? Don't know yet. I really like the Grists. I think I'm probably going to get some Grists, but they're real expensive in paper, I think, last time I checked. I don't think Brutality or Charmaw is going to be better than just the rest of the stuff we've got going. Let's just submit. Let's go first. Let's go to turn 2 Planeswalker. That would make me feel good. Why Bob over Season Pyro? Been meaning to ask for 10 leagues. Ooh, we got turn 2 Planeswalker. I think Pyromancer is pretty bad. They Bob and Pyromancer don't really fill the same slot. So like Pyromancer, it's gonna be good when you draw it off of the top in matchups that care about resources and your hand's already empty. There are very few matchups that explicitly care about the top deck war. So the best case scenario from it is not super common, and then in situations where you're not trying to hit the best case scenario, boo. The average run out is it doesn't produce card advantage, it doesn't provide a meaningful clock, and it doesn't interact with the opponent, which are the three things I try to look for. And Bob comes down a whole turn earlier and generates card advantage while providing a clock. It's a similar clock to Seasoned Pyromancer, but Bob does it a whole turn earlier. Alright, let's get this run in 6 going. We didn't get the turn 2 Planeswalker we had in mind, but we do get a turn 2 Planeswalker. You think we would bring in Plague Engineer first? Yeah, if they're playing Hex Drinker, then Plague Engineer gets better. You think making blockers is a good strategy? I mean, that implies kind of that like you're playing to stay alive. I'm trying to play to win. So we don't have any creatures yet in play. So despite the fact that this Blackleaf Cliffs only comes in untapped now, I think I want to just continue getting value off of the Mire. So I have to push this first. So that way my land goes to the yard. And I'll just get basic Swamp, return my land. Go. Maybe I should have terminated there, because then next turn I can Grist and push. That might have been a mistake. Because like they're playing Lurrus, right? So terminate kills just about everything anyway. Well, I guess I'm terminating now anyway, so doesn't really matter. Just so you know, your explanations are why I follow you. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I try to articulate everything as best as I can. I think it makes for better content, so I'm glad it's working out for you, and you as well, Sanchez. All right, well, we're empty boarded, which means I think I'm just gonna get the Planeswalkers going, and I'm gonna continue getting land value off of my Ren and 6 as opposed to just getting my tap land in. Make a thing. Oh, we hit a Grist. We hit a Grist, so we got another one. That's great. All right, so let's get Blood Crypt, second red, third black, and just return a land. So far, so good. Put their companion over here before I forget. Play Junsu to watch either way. Fair enough. Yeah, Pyromancer just never really impressed me. I tried it. I mean, like, if you're gonna evaluate a card based on the best case, like, I think that's not a very fair evaluation of a card. Like, you gotta look at what's gonna happen, like, the average amount of the time, right? And, like, the average amount of the time, Pyromancer's a 3-mana do nothing. Like buying time is not what I'm trying to buy. I'm trying to buy resources. I'm trying to buy clock. I'm trying to buy advantage, not things that just, like, prolong the game. Like, prolonging the game could be a fine strategy if the format is shaped that way, but if you're playing against aggro and you're playing against combo, prolonging the game is just not what you're interested in. Gray Ogre is a giant. You watched 6 videos over the last few days? Wow, that's a lot of hours. That's like half a day. Half a day straight, that is. Yeah, Stream Decker's finally working again. I don't know why it leaves my channel. Like, it used to never do that. But this is twice in one day it's happened. Explosives for 2. Well, we've got a backup Ren in 6. Another land, not ideal. It's popping this now. Sure. So, I think I want to just deploy a 4/3. I could get the Ren and 6 going again. So, like, they play discard spells, right? So, the sooner I get stuff out of my hand, the better it'll probably be. So, what I think I'm going to do is just play the Ren and 6 and just play the Bone Crusher as a 4/3. I could stomp them. This is about the only removal I've got access to right now, but that's not even true because I just have Grist. So let's get Basic Mountain. Yeah, let's get Basic Mountain. Get the Mountain. Cast a Ren and 6. Buy back a land. Plus a Grist. Mill a Goyf. Play a Bone Crusher. Attack for 2. Pass. Not a bad turn. Thought sees me, I dare you. Vegas once says, don't think Grist is good in Jund, but surely think that he is too much underrated as a card. I think it could be good in Jund. So like it doesn't solve any problems in that grinding is not really an issue that Jund has had in the past. That said, it almost kind of is an issue now because they're like 4-color Omnath piles, 5-color Niv piles. Like Jund really isn't even the premier mid-range deck anymore, and Grist could help us continue to compete with those. And it's also a house versus Esper control, which is pretty popular because Planeswalkers are a thing we have a hard time dealing with, and Grist just straight nukes those. So I think Grist is actually a really excellent grindy tool. So like I guess going back to what I was trying to say, while it doesn't necessarily solve any problems, I think it does the job better than something we were previously playing. So while it doesn't solve any problems, I still think it's probably good enough because it just does better. It does it better than other stuff we were playing. Killing walkers is nothing to shrug about. And you can buy it back with Kolagon's command. How sweet is that? We currently have 2 creatures in yard. Sorry, 3, including the Grist, because Grist is a creature while it's in the yard. And Elements has got spooked the other day watching one of my YouTube videos in the background when you just went, "Hey Element, what's up?" Turns out I'd also watched it live. Yeah, that would spook me too. He says can't play the last few days, but you love playing Jund and watching and learning more. Well, you'll definitely get to watch here. I don't know about learn. I mean, I try to be as informative as possible, but I mean, I don't think I'm that far ahead of just like your typical average Jund player. I think I'm fairly middle of the pack. You like the idea of having Grist in the sideboard? Definitely a powerful card. Yeah, I mean, it could be a sideboard card. Well, it was good enough to draw a trophy. Swamp. Sure. You like the idea of having it? Okay, I just read that comment. And then Vegas says, I drew another land. Poop. Alright, well, I'm gonna still continue to get value. I'll just do it this way. The one thing that came in board and doesn't yeah, but the thing is that coming in board nothing immediately is meh, but maybe in shell, in a Lurrus shell, yeah, maybe. You'd have to uncompanion the Lurrus. Jam. Hey, we broke 100 viewers on the day. That's exciting. Yeah, unearthing a Grist seems like it could be fun. You thought 2-mana Planeswalkers were good. What about 1-mana Planeswalkers? We've got lethal on board. If they play something big, we don't actually have a way to punch through it right now. Yeah, I got 100 viewers for League 100. It's only fitting. I actually got 110 right now. I think my Mana Traders stats... not my Mana Traders. I use Streamlabs to stream, and I think the viewer count lags a little bit. So right now it's telling me 110. I don't know what Twitch is telling y'all. Without Luris Companion, you're speaking of a shell with the Liliana, etc. Luris is a creature slot. Oh, you're saying like just put it in the deck. Yeah, I mean, you got to make a bunch of other changes too to make it really powerful. Like you probably have to also play Mishra's Bauble, for example. It just fell to 95. Was that 100? See, for me, it's still saying 110. So I think just like the refresh rate is not super optimized. Oh no! See, they do have Pulse. Luris to hand. Well, literally any burn spell will do it here. Even another Renin 6, because I could ping them with Renin 6 and play another Renin 6. Could I draw Burn, please? Just make me not have to hem and haw over it. Kinda, not really. I mean, that's a way to kill, whatchamacallit? Luris. We mill the land. Because I guess I just want to take lands out of the deck at this point. So we can still just ping them now. And then before we get into combat with the lifelinker, ping them again. This also means they can't use Peatland for mana, which could come up. Yeah, like for me it still shows 110. I don't know what the refresh rate is. They're desperate. I mean, now even if they put a blocker into play, we've got 2 lethal attackers. Yeah, and just a lethal planeswalker in play. Okie dokie. Do I want Brutality? Is it actually crazy to want Brutality? It kills Luris, and it kills the Dauthi Voidwalker, which are 2 good targets. The Drain mode seems like it's going to be the least applicable, but we could always check their hand for an instant or sorcery, too. Twitch back to 101? Sick. Alright, well, we're only on League 100, though, so one of y'all has to leave. Not really, but it'll be funny. You don't like Ashiok? Don't think we want Brutality as a bad terminate? I mean, it is a bad terminate, but the duress mode might be good. Like, Ashiok doesn't really look good, especially while we're on the draw. So I would be interested in taking the Ashioks out. And then I think I'm considering some mix of Plague Engineer Brutality. Charma could get interesting. It feels like it's going to be pretty hard for them to kill this outside of a kicked, the sorcery speed fatal push. I think just having more answers to Luris is going to be the best thing to do. Because like Luris, I think in terms of the grindy game plan, we outclass them by a lot. But I think the way that we lose is specifically to Luris, and that's how we lost game 1. So I think if I've got options to bring more anti-Luris cards in, I'll do that. You'd rather have Plague Engineer to make Ren better? Yeah, I mean, but like I'd rather not have to combo cards. I'd rather just my cards be good on their own. Like if I've got a Renin 6 going and a Plague Engineer, I'm probably doing fine without comboing them. Ooh. Me likey. Me likey indeed. Keep. We've even got the Blooming Marsh to cast the Ignoble. Sick. We drew Bolt, not bad. They could easily push this, but if they do that, we still have turn 2 Ren and 6. We don't have a fetch land to combo with it. Would I ever take Liliana of the Veil out of Jund? Well, if I were incentivized to play Luris, obviously yes. But if I'm playing non-Luris companion, then I would feel pretty hard pressed to not play Liliana, because like there are situations like this where Liliana just feels absolutely insane. Boink. So we could have Tarmogoyfed and bolted to start putting some more pressure down, which maybe would have been better. But getting Planeswalker into play feels like it's got to be pretty strong. I just realized Stomp hit so much more stuff after MH2. For example, Ragavan, Voidwalker, Hierarch, Grief, Esper, Sentinel. Yeah, all fair. Ignoble did a thing. Yeah, it did. Did a sick thing, too. No fetch land to get back with Ren and 6, but I'm not really sure that I'm in a position to complain. I mean, I could always, if I draw a land that isn't a fetch, I could always just ditch it to Brutality to get an extra mode and then buy that back. Yeah, you're saying just pitch the Tomb? Yeah. If I pitch the Tomb, I don't actually have the mana to also cast Ren and 6, though. Like, that is my 4th mana. I need 4 mana to Brutality and Ren. Turn 2 Lily feels like the glory days of Deathrite Shaman. I can see that. They're just fielding? Sure. I guess we'll get red. Now we have a land to get back. It's all coming up, Jund. You're gonna Inquisition or Thoughtseize me? Okay. It's less good. Oh, you were saying pitch it to Liliana. That makes way more sense. I don't know why I thought of that. Why I didn't think of that first. You're saying like, yeah, pitch the land to Liliana, buy it back with the Ren, then play it in the Brutality. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't see it for a sec. They should almost definitely take this Ren and 6, right? They have to take the Ren and 6. Kinda have to. We're not out of the woods yet. If the opponent just slams a bunch of creatures into play and can overwhelm the Liliana, maybe that's the way we fall behind. Then at parity, we start losing to Luris. What do we find? A Bob? Jeez. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to plus Liliana first. I think I'm just going to ditch the Bolt. We saw that the opponent is playing Dark Confidant, so maybe we shouldn't go low on answers to it, especially when next turn they could go Threat and Threat, both at 2 mana. I would really like to stick this this Liliana, though. I also want to stick this Bob, so what I'm thinking about is shock this and cast Brutality. Make sure the way is clear for the Bob, but I also want to plus the Liliana, which means I'm discarding either the Bolt or the Goyf. I guess I'll just discard the Goyf, to be honest. Because I want an answer to make sure, like, if they go creature, I want to be able to kill both things. And I want to plus the Liliana first, because then they discard without information. So let's ditch the Goyf, I guess. It feels weird, but as long as I'm so ahead on card advantage resources, I feel like it's probably fine. So I'll ditch a Goyf, which feels weird. I mean, if they just don't have any more creatures, it's going to be a lot better to keep the Bolt. But if they just, like, have another Dalthi, or they have, like, a Hex Drinker, or eventually even this Luris, I like pitching the Goyf. You'd cast Goyf and Bob and make them have it? That's fair, too. But if they've got any removal spell, they get their choice of what to kill, and I think I'd rather just make sure that the Bob lives. We could brick here, which would be ideal. But let's just hope we don't brick here. Hopefully there's, like, a push rotting in their hand or a pulse that we can just take. Oh, it's 2 pulses. Alright, well, I'll take one of them. And I guess playing Bob means you can't both kill the Liliana and the Bob. What did I replace for the Hierarch and the Grist? I am playing 2 total copies of Bone Crusher, 2 total copies of Bloodbraid Elf. I am lower on 1 mana interaction because we have other things we want to do on turn 1, the Mana Dork. And I think that's about it. I'm down to 2 Bobs. I think that's it. Yeah, double pulse is really annoying. Although if they're gonna have 2 removal spells, I'm glad they're both pulse, because this one's pretty awkward to cast. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're not playing our 1 copy of Kroxa. That's also true. Thanks. Yeah, kind of just have to kill the Bob here, right? They're killing that. Deal. I mean, that was my one way to for sure kill something, but not even true because I kept the bolt. So I can still kill the Voidwalker. Now we're just drawing cards off of Bob. Feels pretty sick. Can I get a Grist, please? That's good, too. Kind of think I'm just going to end up cycling this. Let's attack for not 2, 3. This Ignoble's looking good. So I'll hold up access to Kolaghan's command and Bolt in the same turn. But if I don't end up casting both spells, I'm almost definitely just going to cycle the Cave. I could cycle it now in an attempt to find Planeswalker. But I think keeping the board clear with the Bob going is a higher priority. Yeah, they're between a rock and a hard place, right? Like we have 2 sources of recurring advantage, so they have to kind of pick one. I think they're more likely to draw a creature removal spell, which would be the reason to kill the harder to kill permanent, because like more things kill the Bob. So I think their decision makes sense, but it's definitely risky. But they might just have to take the riskier line, identifying that they're behind, because like to pull ahead, you might sometimes have to just do the riskier thing, the thing with the higher floor and the lower ceiling, or the other way around, the lowest ceiling and the highest floor. I said it backwards again. Lowest floor, highest ceiling. Alright, so that will resolve. Does it matter what I use here between the Kolaghan's command and the Bolt? I think I'm using Kolaghan's command here because that has me just immediately getting back another threat, and then I'll cycle the Forgotten Cave as well. So we'll shock Douthie, return Tarmogoyf. So return this, shock that. Kolaghan's command will be exiled. Cycle this. Run in 6. Nice. Get another trigger. I'm feeling like we're kind of just running away with it now. Alright, so let's go Ren in 6. Buy back Forgotten Cave. Play a Tarmogoyf. Play a Verdant. Attack for 3. We saw that the opponent is playing Engineered Explosives, so that could potentially be a way that they claw back into it. So we're going to hope to avoid that. Mighty Bob, yeah. So no explosives, please. That would be the worst case. Even if they do, we're still up a few cards with the Dark Confidant. We're up a card with the Ren in 6 already, given that we've gotten back Forgotten Cave. But I would love for this advantage to continue snowballing and just like avoid the answer. How many lands am I playing with 4 Ignoble? 22 currently. I'm not sure that it's correct, but that's just what I'm doing right now. Yeah, this I think goes back pretty well. So what I said at the beginning of the game is that I think on like a card advantage based mid range game, we severely outclass them. It's just like the Luris plan that we really have to make sure that we can combat. So I think keeping the Bolt was smart if that's what we identified we'd have a hard time against. Alright, should I fetch Shock just to cycle this? I could have fetched pre I could have fetched to cast the Tarmogoyf, so that way I can use this to cycle. This has me losing 2 extra life. I think I'll still do it. I'm drawing basically 2.5 cards a turn. And I'm going to want my mana to cast the spells on top of Cycling Cave. So they've used 2 copies of Maelstrom Pulse already. I doubt they've got another. I guess we could just lead on cycle and maybe we find something like a Grist that we would rather cast. Just more bolts. Sure. Keep some red available. Attack for not 4, 5. We are 1 short of just killing them. So next turn, even if they commit a lifelinker, we can just ping them and bolt them twice. We could also just bolt the Lurrus. Not sure about Ignoble. Ignoble looked very good this game. We cast turn 2 Liliana. We would have been able to deal with their creature anyway, but putting Liliana into play early really put them on the back foot. Because like we just use a regular removal spell, we still haven't committed a Planeswalker. Is Ignoble all or nothing if you play it, i.e. 4 copies or 0? I don't think so. I definitely think you're not playing 1 or 2. I think you're playing 3 or 4 if you're playing it. Because like when you want to play it, you want it on turn 1 and not on many other turns. There's Lurrus. Alright, so we kept a bolt to deal with this. We drew another one anyway. They're going to combat? They didn't want to cast something?
Hello. I had so much fun.
That's good. Okay, so Grist obviously we're kind of spoiled with all the riches that we've got. Jam. If they've got a push, then you know we just bolt them. Zap. Yeah. 6-ish.
Okay.
All right.
Pour at like 6:30, by the way.
Okay. Ligma says, I think Voidwalker and Grist might be the best cards for Jund. Ragavan might be good as well, but it's a million ticks, so it's hard to test. Yeah, I think Ragavan's it'll be fine in Jund. I don't know if it solves any problems. It's just gonna be. It definitely doesn't solve any problems. It's just a matter of doesn't do a job better than something that we're currently playing, which it might. I think Grist. I think that's the case for Grist. You could see even running 2 or 1, but then it's much less central to your game plan. Running 4 lets you push your curve a bit higher, and land count a bit lower. Yeah, that is true. Something I've said in the past is the kinds of games that Ragavan likes to be good in are the aggro when you're trying to play the beatdown deck, and Jund doesn't always have the ability to play the role of the beatdown deck. Sometimes you need to be the control deck first and then shift. Ooh. We've got turn 2 Liliana again. Alright. Let's get... I think I still want to get Overgrown Tomb. If they're playing Lurrus Burn, then I'm going to really wish I had not shocked. I'm going to have all of my colors. The issue is if they kill the Ignoble, maybe I don't have the right mana. I think I'm going to get Overgrown Tomb and hope they're not on Burn. Is the deck list available? Yes. If you type !deck or !deck list in chat, that should take you to the list on Stream Decker. What's up, Mashmalovsky? Whoa, that's a lot of Ornithopters. You personally don't want to play Jund Super Friends? That's reasonable. So we've got a Kolaghan's command. So when they equip this, whatever they equip to, it doesn't have flying anymore. So we could still just block it with whatever Grist gets in front of. Obviously, an Edict isn't looking great. I'm kind of wanting to just Grist here. Little Hammer Time action. Yeah, haven't seen Hammer Time in a while. Our hand's very good for Hammer Time. You think there's a Mirror Incasator in our near future? Well, we've got a Stomp. Alright, so they can equip, but it loses flying. And they should equip to Paladin. But if they equip to Paladin, it doesn't even matter because we just Kolaghan's command it. Goyf, not bad. I should probably just Kolaghan's command it now. I don't want them drawing more cards off of Paladin. So let's just kill Paladin, kill Hammer, I think. Yeah. So destroy an artifact, 2 to a target. Artifact, target. And I'll just not lose the life off of the Woodifa Hills. I get to make another blocker with Grist anyway. Sometimes you get to make 2 blockers with Grist. Don't think Ralphie is that good. Which one's Ralphie? It seems like the cards they cast off of it. Oh, the black thing. Oh, Urza Saga. Its ability are never going to be that great, only in certain matchups, and the thought of that not attacking just seems awkward. I think it's worth it if you're companioning Luris, because you can get you can get a form of card advantage off of it, and it's also just really nice main deck Grave Hate. Yes. So this is next turn. It has pay 2, create a 0/0 artifact with this creature gets +1 for each artifact you control. So that's going to be a lot of artifacts. We can still just kill it with Grist though. They put Luris to hand. Let's get Stomping Ground. We found the Bolt. Bolt's good. So we've got 4 mana here. I can just hold up a Stomp and a Bolt, or I could play Goyf, and hold up Stomp all the same. So they've got Luris in hand. They're going to make a big thing pretty soon. I think I want to keep the loyalty on this high, which means that when I minus it to kill whatever this makes, I want it to stay high up on 4. So I think what I'm going to do is deploy a Goyf, because I do need to get my own kind of pressure going. So let's make a 1/1. Milling a Hierarch. Play a Goyf. And then I'm going to use Stomp before I use Bolt, just because it's more mana intensive. I guess I can attack for 2. Yeah, let's do that. Get past the Ornithopters. Look at these new cards working together. Yeah, playing it versus Living In. Living In is also very popular right now, so I think the card does enough to where it's probably just good. They can make 2. Don't you have to tap it to do the thing? Yeah, it gains 2 and tap it, so I think they can only make 1. Unless they can untap it somehow. I don't have that bot working, Jessif. I have to figure out how to get that bot working. But I can just make it bigger for you. Yeah, gotta get in for 2 for that Hierarch value, right, Element? Remember Ignoble Hierarch and Elspeth Knight? This is them now. Feel old yet? That's great. So I'm assuming this is a hammer. Oh, it's Shadow Spear. Cool. So this is 2 to equip. Resolves. So on 3, this is search your library for an artifact card with something 0 or 1, put it on the battlefield. So they can get another hammer. That's cool. Should I just use the Stomp? Just start killing their stuff? kind of like just starting to kill their stuff, but that might be wrong. I mean, if I kill something now, I still get to Liliana kill another thing. We've got like infinite blockers. The thing is, like, this is gonna give trample, right? So I'm assuming that they're gonna make a big thing equipped to give it trample, which they can all do at instant speed, right? Like the bolt won't really handle it very well. Yeah, I think I am stomping. I want to make their big thing less big. So let's do this. Stomp. I don't know how you stomp on something that flies. You kind of have to like swat it out of the air first. Have I played Magic in paper yet? I've been playing for 6-ish years. So I've been playing in paper for a while. But I've got a small group of friends who we're all vaccinated, so we've played together in paper, yeah. All right. So this gives, so they're gonna make a big thing. It's gonna attack for 1 because this is gonna get another artifact and they're gonna play it. It's gonna attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna be a 5/5. So if I can kill 2 more creatures, I can actually just bolt the thing. So I think I'm just gonna use the Grist to kill an Ornithopter. Giraffe, thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Yeah, I think I'm killing a creature here, because I can then edict another one and still just have the bolt available. And Damanelius, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate the support. So we'll sacrifice this, kill this, and then we can. I guess I want to probably keep the Goyf back for at least 1 more turn. They're gonna have a hard time attacking past it. Like, I can always just bolt it in response to whatever they would use to equip. Because if I tap Ignoble for the Liliana, I no longer have the option to block with the Ignoble. I think that's probably fine. Just keep the black up like this. Edict the Ornithopter. Yeah, the plan was edict this so we can bolt the thing. It's actually going to be a 4/4 though, right? Because this is going to make a this is going to get them having another thing. I forgot that it counts itself, so it'll be a 4/4. I mean, that said, we can still just block it with the Goyf and or combine a bolt to finish it off. So they have to do this now. You make a 4/4. I guess it's a 4/4 now. It's a 3/3 now, right? That's what you were saying? So this actually will work. We'll be fine. We can bolt it now while it's a 3/3. Yeah, on their turn it would be 4/4. Because they're getting something with the Urza Saga. Is that why we didn't attack with the Goyf? Yeah. I forgot that. So I should have attacked, to be clear. In my head, I was like, oh, they're gonna make it a 4/4, but I forgot like it's a 3/3 at the end step. So for sure, I messed up. Bruno, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So they're floating 3. Loris, okay. Oh, that's right, because this happens at the beginning of the main phase, right? It's not like an upkeep or a draw step thing. Oh, it's a draw step? Okay, I'm not sure how it works then. We should be fine, though. We have Grist in play. Here comes Paladin. Yeah. We still get to kill that with Grist. We for sure have to kill it, right? They'll still be able to equip everything to the Paladin itself, So drawing removal, I think, would probably put this game away. But if we don't, they're still fighting. Any removal ever, please. Not quite. All right, so minus. Thank you. Sacrifice this. Kill that. So they can give it +10/+10, and then +1/+1. So it's going to be able to attack for 13. So if I just play Tarmogoyf, we can't kill it. This gives lifelink, right? Yeah, it gives lifelink. I mean, we're still gonna have Liliana just like charged up again, assuming they can't find another creature. So I guess this means let's play out the hand. And I don't think we're attacking because I don't want them to trample through to connect with the Liliana. It would put them to 6. But the issue is they're still just gaining all the life right back. So I think I'd rather just keep the Liliana alive and hope they don't draw a creature. Check for 7, but it kind of feels the same. No, yeah. This just makes their Eclipse cost 0. It doesn't change the speed that they can do it at. Now they can make a creature again. Can I attack with 1 Hierarch for 2? Yeah, I could have. So if they find another hammer here, we're actually in trouble. They've done a lot of impressive grinding. Urza's Saga has been very good. I mean, if either one of our planeswalkers gets to survive, their thing is dying. So one of our Goyfs will die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Yeah. They get to make a guy in response to the edict, but then we still have Grist to kill the other thing. So we'll be fine. Another paladin, okay. That's a problem. We can still just draw any removal spell ever. Not what we were hoping for. So I edict them, they make the thing in response. And that's the only line that I've really got, so let's do it. So now we would lose the Grist, but that's really the only line we've got access to. Oh, I should have attacked first. We would have another Exalted, right? Yeah, we needed to find a removal spell there, but we did not. Yeah, they just get third hammer and murder us. This is true. Yeah, this card was very good. I mean, they had 2 of it. The second one was what made it difficult. I mean, they have to see the line. But yeah, this card was very impressive. The second copy of this is what did it. mean, I could have played this game a little bit differently, right? The only real thing that I know that I know of is I could have stomped on a different time. Yeah, they just gotta equip and smack us. The missed attack cost us? Not really. Remember, they just gained a crap ton of life. The missed attack didn't matter. Yeah, the second hammer is gonna make it impossible. Yep, we are dead. That was impressive. We've got good sideboard cards though. We've got Fatal Push. Brutality kills pretty much everything. We didn't see Mem Knight, but if they're playing Ink Moth, this will be great versus that. And then maybe Charmaw's good. If they're playing Ink Moth, it's made cheaper by that, but that's about it. Ashiok is good for stopping all of the searching of all of the tutoring of their various equipment, and it also stops the Luris plan, so I feel like that's probably good enough. Fran MTG10, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Oh, Charma also works off of Urza Saga, that's true. Yeah, let's get it in there. Let's get it in there. This hits that too. Should we bring in the Break the Ice? Break the Ice also kills Ink Moth, that's true. Alright, let's try it. We've yet to bring him in, so let's finally do it. I'm gonna cut some of the more expensive stuff, I think. And honestly, I kinda wanna cut all the discard too. Or at least the Thoughtseizes. Everything else seems great though. How am I gonna make 8 cuts in a minute and a half? Maybe Brutality is just the worst kill spell. Definitely keeping Cooldown's Command and Grist. Keeping Asha, keeping Bone Crusher. I could definitely see the case for Liliana being too weak, especially when they're just Ornithoptering. Maybe I cut, like, one more expensive card. Is Plague Engineer even good here? It's going to be really good if they're on the Ink Moth plan. They just can't activate Ink Moth. And if they're also playing Mem Knight, we can hit Mem Knights too. I think it's going to be good enough. We need one more cut. Crazy as it may seem, I think I'm going to cut a Goyf. We just need to make sure we don't die. We have plenty of clocks. Like, they're really not in the business of removing our own threats, so it's not like we need many of them. We only need 1 or 2. Did I check Verdant Command? I don't like Verdant Command. That's that mono green thing, right? I think Renin 6 is going to be really good here, because if they're playing Mem Knights, it's going to be great. This hand's not very good. This hand's better. Keep. Bottom. I guess basic forest, so we can shock on turn 1 for Ignoble. But they're probably not killing Ignoble, so I can maybe just bottom this. The reason I don't like forest is because it doesn't cast the black and red intensive stuff very easily. But it's probably just okay to save the life. Yeah, let's bottom that. Say done. And I honestly might just cast Bone Crusher on turn 2 as a 4/3 that attacks as a 5/4. They've got the push. Alright, well I lied about them not killing my stuff. Just hold up Stomp now. Got the Saga. And a Stoneforge. Okay, well, I'll stomp that. Wonder if they're playing that new 7-mana artifact. Nope. Crypt. Sure. I thought this matchup was very good pre-Modern Horizons 2, but this card adds a whole other something to it. Action, please. That's action. So, assuming that they don't have removal, Bob is going to be the better play here. So let's go for that. I don't think one threat is likely to go all the way over the span of 4 or 5 turns. So I think I'd rather just try to find more interaction. Like, we can't double spell next turn anyway. Yeah, Urza Saga is basically free. It's really good. Maybe they aren't playing Inkmoth anymore. Oh, never mind. But I was gonna say, because like there's only so many colorless sources they can afford, right? Darn. They really brought in pushes, huh? Hammer, yeah. Well, how scared do I want to play? So if they have the double white thing, I just die, right? Because they could go thing, activate. Actually, this doesn't make mana anymore, right? Oh, it's gain, so it still does make mana. So I would just die, right? Because they could equip Hammer to Inkmoth for free. I guess that's not actually true, right? Because it would still lose flying and I would still be able to block. I'll Bone Crusher. If they do have that nutty line, I could still Kolagon's command to get out from under it, hopefully. So we're gonna hope for not that 2 mana thing, but if they do have it, it's not the end of the world. And I guess they don't have it. Just make it 3/3. Yeah, I mean, keeping Kolagon's command up just doesn't seem like the winning line, though. Like, I need to pull ahead at some point. Now I have to kill a 5/5. Urza Saga has just been really impressive. I'll take the hit. Oh, right. They can't attack yet. Duh. Alright, let's get more red, more green. I've got Swamp in hand. Say no. Yikes. So, using Kolagon's command now would mean that I still am not going to do well versus the whatchamacallit, the champion or whatever. Because I don't even have an attack. Like, they do have an attack, too. It doesn't feel good. Can't I swing and then buy back Bone Crusher? Yeah, that's assuming they block, which I don't think they will, because they're winning this race. Like, if they don't block, then... I mean, I'm not blocking either, so maybe an attack is just good. Yeah, I mean, given that I'm not blocking, I guess that means I'm attacking. But yeah, if they do block, I'll buy back Bone Crusher and finish it off. But yeah, I just don't think they're blocking. Yep, pass. So if they do have the champion and they go all in on the construct, I can shatter construct and then shoot the 2/2 with a key command. Yeah, like yeah, Bruno. I don't think they were blocking there. I think that they'd just rather have the 5/5. Any reason to not shatter and buy back Bob? Yeah, I don't want to just die to the double white thing. This thing. So I have to let this resolve. And then in response to an equip, I can kill it and an artifact. I guess I just do it now, huh? So 2 damage and kill an artifact. Alright, so destroy an artifact. You. 2 damage, you. I am still in trouble to another Pure Steel Paladin, though, because they could still just put it on an Infector and hit me for 10. Need removal. Plague Engineer would be good here. That would shut off the Inkmoth plan. Run at 6. See, like, Break the Ice doesn't even do it, though. Oh, because I could overload it. Yeah, that would be good. I was gonna say I can only target one thing, but I could overload it. So I'm still just kind of dead to the champion, right? I'm still just dead to the champion. Is that even true though? Do they have enough mana now? So if they play a white source, they could play champion, but then they could tap the champion to activate Inkmoth. So if they have white source and champion, we die. But if they don't, we can get some actual attacks in. I think I have to get some actual attacks in. So this puts them to a low number, 7. I guess I'm minusing at them. They could double activate Inkmoth and just attack the Ren and 6 down. That wouldn't feel great, but I mean, it is what it is. Sigarda's Aid could be a problem. Luckily, it only matters for artifacts that aren't yet in play. Oh, do they have another hammer? That'd be brutal. Please, no other hammer. We don't know of a hammer, right? Boo! That's going at us, right? Yeah, it's going at us. We're dead. We needed more removal. We did not have it. It wasn't coming either. 2 and 1, still not bad. Seven lands, not gonna do it. Better. Keep. I think I'm just bottoming Terminate. We're on the play? No, we're not on the play. They've mulliganed to 5. Jeez. They rolled a 2 and we expertly rolled a 1. I think I'm just bottoming Terminate. I'm going to go Thoughtseize, Grist. Yeah, that Saga was very, very good. Yeah, it could be Dredge again. Yeah, they're at 5. Is it Bogles? Uh-oh. It's Bogles. So, obviously, play draw was pretty big here. Especially on their mold of 5. I mean, we get the Thoughtseize. We drew Liliana, okay. So now maybe I need to prioritize making sure they don't have multiple creatures. We'll see. They've got Rancor, Ethereal Armor. I'll take the Rancor because that one just comes back after I neutralize it. That's the card we didn't know about. So now we're not Thoughtseizing, thanks. So I'll get Stomping Ground with the Mire, and then I guess this could be Dryad Arbor, which is the concern. Yeah. Dryad Arbor will get sticky. They're not companioning Luris, which I guess indicates they've got mainboard Leyline. Oh, that makes a creature too. Alright, it's looking pretty grim now. Like, if this thing didn't have trample, then maybe we can navigate to a spot where we can reload a Liliana Edict. But them making another creature is going to make that a lot harder. Yep, I mean, Grist is going to get to make a crap ton of blockers. So as long as they can't give this thing trample. Famous last words. Does that change anything? So we can Liliana Edict. That'll take care of Warrior. I am assuming they're just gonna get the Dryad Arbor. I think I have to Grist. Because maybe Grist can make a 1/1, and then if I don't have to block, I can use that 1/1 to kill one of their creatures, and then maybe Liliana can actually end up edicting. Yeah, with 2 Liliana fodders, I think I have to Grist to continue gaining life, or to start gaining life. So I think I'm supposed to Peatland to do it. That has me taking 1 to cast Grist. If I shock now, it's still net losing 2 life, so it's actually just better to play Peatland, right? Because if I draw a black source that doesn't have me paying life, I will have not lost 1 extra life. So we've got many blockers. This doesn't feel like playing to win, though. I mean, it's better than the one other option that I have, so I guess it's playing to win. Maybe we hit another Grist and we get 2 blockers. That'd be sick. Nah, not that lucky. I didn't want to get Dryad Arbor. I guess they can just surprise us with it. No trample, please. We even maybe have game versus the Daybreak Coronet. It doesn't give trample, right? It's like first strike, vigilance, lifelink, +3/+3, right? We're doing okay. Block. We'll see where it goes. If they go after Grist, we're forced to block. But if they don't go after Grist, it becomes interesting. Yeah. And 1 at me? Sure. Alright, well, I want to keep Grist alive, so let's block it. Any more creatures, it's going to be hard. Alright, well, I doubt they're playing more than 1 Dryad Arbor, so that was a good draw for us. Inquisition, that doesn't do anything. Make a blocker. And I guess I'm going to start Liliana Edicting. I mean, unfortunately, this Liliana is going to 1, which means that they can just send Warrior at it. Oh, they're getting Dryad Arbor now. Do you think they could be playing 2 Dryad Arbors? It's possible. I'm going to assume they're only playing 1, just because I know in recent past it's been pretty standard to sideboard in the second one. Assuming you've got access to a second one. I mean, they could also just draw another Bogle, right? Like, another Bogle would just be more insulation. So we need them to draw auras that don't give trample, or just lands. Well, I guess they didn't have another one. I mean, they're still gonna get to deal with this Liliana though. They could just send them both creatures at the Liliana. If they don't make this bigger, I'm gonna just defend the Liliana. I guess it doesn't matter. If Liliana's dying, it's dying. But I mean, if Insect lives, we can use Grist to kill Warrior and then second Liliana to kill Bogle. So we're live. We need them to brick here. If they found a land, we've actually got a decent shot. And I'm pretty sure them fetching for not second Dryad Arbor means they just don't have one. Yeah, our plays are automatic, and they include hope their draws suck pretty much. I mean, their deck is as uninteractive as it comes, you know. Like at least Storm plays Bromance. All right, let's see where they're going. Drawing a push for Warrior would be good too. Yeah, even Ren and 6. Well, I guess not Ren and 6, because Ren and 6 doesn't have us also playing Liliana. We are not just dead. They did mulligan to 5 too. We're lucky enough to have found second Liliana. They're going at us. Should I even block? No, right? I'll just take 4. Because then we can use Insect to kill this, Liliana Edict the other thing. I'm gonna take 4. And then we hope they haven't drawn another creature. Yep, Grist looking good again. That's true. Oh. Okay. Well, this works out well for us, too. Yeah, this works out just fine. They'll get the Rancor back. You may sacrifice a creature. Yeah, I don't know. I'll sacrifice this. Kill this. We even get to deal with the Rancor, but that's not necessarily true. We could Thought Seize the Rancor, but then we're going to 1. Don't think I want to do that. Or we'll just Inquisition it. Yeah, we'll go to 3, which I feel is probably pretty safe. So we'll keep that one. Edict you. Yeah, we'll Inquisition it. Not Thought Seize it. I think I'm gonna do it off of basic Swamp. That'll just have us ending up with another mana source in play. Because if we use this and we want to fetch, we'll be at 2. So this seems fine. So if they don't draw a Bogle into an enchantment, we should be good. Yeah, Grist has just continued to be pretty impressive. So if we can avoid a Bogle here, we can recharge a Liliana Edict by the time they can reestablish, and then we're maybe fine, unless they're sandbagging, and then they can then put on another cartouche. But they can't sandbag either because Liliana just pluses out of their hand. Hey, we took game 1 versus Bogles. Sick. For sure, Engineer. Ashiok is interesting because it could stop the Dryad Arbor, which is maybe a thing. I'm not bringing in Push, I don't think, because we already have so much removal that does next to nothing anyway. I think Terminate probably the worst removal spell, followed by maybe Kolagon's Command. They're not really killing our stuff. Unless they have an artifact that we're worried about. That'd just be about the only way that I'd be sad about taking this out. 154? That's sick. Streamlabs is telling me 122. Good or good enough to buy paper at the pre-release price. You're talking about Grist? I think Grist is the real deal. I don't know if the price that it's at right now is the real deal, but I think the card is legitimately good. This is 60. I think this is what we're running. Price. Oh, I don't have the those bots set up. I have to figure out how to get those integrated. But I think I saw for pre-sale that they were going for like $50 or something. Well, this is pretty much an identical hand to our first hand. Shipping that. Mulligan. Better. So, the classic, we're on the draw versus Bogles. They could have Leyline. If they don't have Leyline, this hand's quite good. We could at least take all of their auras, or most of their auras, so that way their progression's a little bit slower. I think I'm keeping things like, if I mulligan again, what am I even looking for? Like Plague Engineer, Ashiok are some of my better sideboard cards, but they're less good when they're already established. I think I have to keep. Like, we can mulligan for exactly Liliana. Well, that doesn't seem great either. Just bottom the removal, keep all the things that can maybe interact with them. They're at 90 for regular version? Jeez. Well, they have double Leyline. God. Alright, well, gonna be rough, to say the least. We're gonna have to hope that their draw is really anemic, and then we could Plague Engineer. Alright, I mean, we're drawing to Plague Engineer plus no aura immediately. We can Plague Engineer next turn if we draw it. The nice thing about having powerful 3-mana sideboard cards with Ignoble is that Ignoble lets you get him out of turn early, which is cool. They're at 90 for a regular version? Jeez. Alright, well, we're still alive to that. We can't draw a Liliana Dark Reprisal. They're hexproof. We can't target them with an Edict. We can still draw Plague Engineer, though. Plague Engineer doesn't care about targeting. Come on, Plague Engineer. Damn. Land, go? I guess I'm attacking. I could just not attack to keep Bolt up. That seems not great. Let's get in. We're still live to a Plague Engineer. Do I think Kroxa is no longer good enough? I don't know that it's no longer good enough. This cuts have to be made in order to fit the new sweet stuff. We don't know if the new sweet stuff is good yet. Ooh, that means we're no longer live. Renin 6 is way better and started at 60. Didn't Renin 6 start at like 25? Like people didn't know it was busted until people played it and was like, well, this card's busted. So we're actually still kind of live to a Plague Engineer, because Plague Engineer does have Death Touch. As long as their creature doesn't have First Strike, we maybe are okay. So Plague Engineer would still be fine. But we need Engineer. Oy. Well, they got Vigilance and Trample. I can't attack. Got 3 at 50 each of the unfinished looking version this morning. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll settle at 50. Unlike Renin 6, I don't think it's right to go out of your way to splash Renin 6. Or sorry, it is correct to go out of your way to splash Renin 6. But I don't think it's correct to go out of your way to splash the black-green Planeswalker. So I don't think it's going to be as ubiquitous as Renin 6 was, or is. But I do think it will be good. Should have used the Ignoble for style points. So if I fetch here, we go to 5. Plague Engineer makes our thing 4 power. We absorb 2 trample, so we get hit for 2. think it's worth taking one non-Plague Engineer card out of the deck. We need Plague Engineer exactly now, though. I guess Goyf could block for a turn, but not even. It's a 2/3. Yikes. Alright, well, we're dead. What do you got post sideboard? I don't even know what they're playing post sideboard. Maybe like Rest in Peace, Path to Exile. Yeah, it had first strike, so yeah. Not even good anymore. I don't think I can make many changes. Yeah, Bogles is like a do you have it deck. I hate decks like that. Saying could have discarded your own Thoughtseizor Inquisition and the Goyf would have blocked maybe. Yeah, but we're also just missing the Goyf, unfortunately. If they don't have Leyline, we need you to not have Leyline. Yeah, we're playing Ashiok because it stops them from searching for Dryad Arbor. It's better than just the removal that we've got a lot of the time. They've mulliganed. That's one hand without Leyline. Please no Leyline. If they don't have Leyline, I think we win. If they have Leyline, I think we lose. I hate decks like this. It's so aggravating. It's like, don't you want to play Magic? You don't want to just like sit across the table and be brain dead for half an hour? You think a Terminate for core is far better? I mean, our pushes do that too. Our pushes and our bolts are both fine answers to that. And like, push doesn't answer a lot, so like, you just prioritize keeping the pushes for those. Like, I'm not gonna have 5 answers to specifically one card. Like, when usually it's not even the card that matters. Please no Leyline. Please no Leyline. Got over 100 of you watching, so there should be at least 200 fingers being crossed right now. Oh, crap. Yeah. Something not as Richard Garfield intended. Yeah, they're gonna build Leyline impossible, if possible. I mean, they can't keep Leyline nothing, but I mean, you never know. They didn't have the thing. Okay. Let's get, I guess, Blood Crypt. So they kept Leyline and no creature. I mean, maybe we're in a racing situation if we can find a clock of our own. Can't target them. Have I considered Verdant Commands a sideboard card? I'm not overly impressed with the modes. It's like Disenchant or Gain Life, right? There's like one other thing on there. Isn't it a sorcery too? Let me just Google it. Oop, I clicked the wrong button. No, don't open an app. Alright, Verdant Commands. I've looked at it for sure in the past, but it just did not look very good. It's $5. That means it's got to be good, right? Choose 2 for... it's an instant. 1 and a green instant, choose 2. Make 2 tapped squirrels, counter a loyalty ability of a planeswalker, exile a card from a graveyard, or gain 3. That doesn't seem great to me. They got Dryad Arbor? Please put enchantments on that. Just play Return to Nature. Might need Engineered Explosives. Yeah. It's hard to play Engineered Explosives in a deck with Bloodbraid, but I mean, maybe it is just necessary enough. So they have to put something on this, right? Or else we just ping it. So, Slippery Bogle is a beast, and Glade Clever Scout is an elf scout. Maxman, thank you for the follow. There's the elf scout. What is this? Yikes. First strike. So... I think here we're forced to use the Wren to kill the Dryad Arbor. We can then play the Plague Engineer, name this, have it be a 1/1. It has first strike is the issue, so if they play another aura, it's going to be really hard to block. Let's do this. So this has creature and land in the yard now. Clipper70, thank you for the follow as well. So the options now are play a 2/3 Tarmogoyf or play a Plague Engineer. Neither option is particularly strong. I guess the upside of playing Plague Engineer is that if we draw the other one and they don't put an aura on this somehow, maybe we're okay. If we Goyf, though, it blocks it all the same. If they add an aura to this, the Engineer line doesn't work anyway, and they get to kill a Renin 6. I mean, we might just be in race mode. Yeah, I think we might just be in race mode. I think that means we're Goyfing. If they play another creature, then maybe I want to Plague Engineer to name that. Is it conceivable that I should just Inquisition target myself? I think it's bad enough where giving them the information of Engineer isn't worth it. We can also just make that play with the Engineer next turn. Yeah, I think we're just passing. Yeah, I do want to put Sorcerer into the yard, but I have to target myself. So I'm going to Inquisition and then use my own thought and hit my own Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just not going to do it until next turn. Crap. Well, it's got flying. That makes the race even harder. Jeez. Well, we fought hard. Please just, like, kill my Renin 6 for no reason. Vezrum, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Please just attack my Renin 6 for no reason. You want me to take Renin 6 with IOK? Why would I do that? Like, both of these cards are just dead. Why not just target this? You're saying, like, literally just to add a type? Renin 6 is probably dying anyway. That adds the type that way, too. I think they should just hit me. I don't know why the situation, why the decision is so close. Adikix or Adisix. Sorry if I said that wrong, but thank you for the follow. They're going at Ren. Thank you. And Basic Geek Stuff. Thank you for the follow as well. So yeah, Goif is going to be plenty big on its own. Let's get... Ooh, more follows. Twitch Play'em. Thank you for the follow too. Yeah, but Bogles got to think extra hard. Pretty much. We made them have a decision. And they made it wrong. Pretty sure. Alright. I would get Blood Crypt given we've got Forest, but I guess we'll just get more red here. Yeah, we've already got 2 red in play, so let's say no. Say okay. Just more thought seizes. Joy. Alright, Engineer. Try to turn their clock a little slower. We'll name Elf. Inquisition us. Put sorcery in the yard. This is your deck. Well, it's getting smacked by Bogles at the moment because Leyline exists, unfortunately. I mean, the race is actually kind of even at the moment, right? I guess they kill us in 3 turns. So can we kill them in 2 after this attack? They're at 14, so 6 and 6 is short. If we can find a creature next turn, we can maybe swing a race. Oh, Bogles is your deck. Oof. You think we name Dryad because it doesn't slow the clock? That's fair. If they put Dryad into play, though, we could ping it. I guess if they do it at instant speed, it's harder. Most Bogles players have been picking up wins by simply building their deck to target Jund. I mean, I feel like that makes some sense, right? Because a lot of the time it's you race them or you don't. And Jund's probably one of the worst matchups just because if you're on the draw and don't have Leyline, you could get discarded or Liliana'd. Damn, should have named Beast. If we find a creature here, maybe. But it's unlikely either way. Nope. They ditched the Dryad Arbor. Oh, we killed that a while ago. That would prevent them from fetching it, but as is, it's not doing much. I guess we could target ourselves, try to grow the Tarmogoyf. They're the only ones with creature in the yard, so as long as we hit creature as well, we won't be like shrinking the Goyf. We don't have a better line, so that's what I'm doing. They might attack Ashiok. With any luck. Alright, so we're hoping to grow the Goyf here. If we add a creature, we at least don't shrink it. We hit three bolts. Well, we didn't shrink it. We couldn't target them anyway, so I guess we milled 4 cards that we didn't care about. PG Montana, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's hope they attack the Ashiok for some reason. Block makes sense. We can't edict them anyway, so keeping multiple creatures doesn't matter. I guess if they wanted to play around an edict that doesn't target, they shouldn't block. Like there's like Liliana's Triumph, right? That doesn't target. It didn't sack Canopy. I guess they're trying to keep the dream of that double white thing alive. Now they sack it? Okay. Can't fetch. Fishing for Daybreak? Yeah, that's the double white thing I was trying to refer to. Please just attack Ashiok. I mean, if they attack Ashiok, they can actually fetch again. This thing flies. I mean, we have to draw Plague Engineer now, right? To shrink this. Damn. So this is 5, 7. There's no way we can deal an extra 5 this turn. If we found Bloodbraid, we would still be short. We can't deal any direct damage to them because of the stupid Ley Line. I'm not missing anything, right? I mean, I think Ley Line just gets us. Wow, I hate Ley Line. Something, something, free spells. Woof. It'd be like that sometimes. You're keeping the Juns 5-0 on League 100 Dream alive. That would be fitting if we got the Juns 5-0 for League 100. Yeah, Bogles. Yeah, we saw the cartouche in, I think, the first game. Which is the game we ended up winning somehow. Saying feed the swarm, over push and Jund. Or in the board. It's something I've done in the past. A lot of people like to play some combination of Maelstrom Pulse and Assassin's Trophy. So if you're playing one of those, I think you should probably just not play the enchantment removal, because you've already got outs, right? But if you're not playing it like me, then yeah, I could definitely see it go up a few points. David Myers, thank you for the follow. And then Thanks Darwin asks, no grief? Yeah, I really dislike grief in the traditional Jund shell, because a lot of the times, first of all, the discard which grief provides is good versus the comboing and control decks. But those matchups already typically are already typically good to great. They're typically not bad matchups, right? So I don't think it's reasonable to put in a card that you intend on using to 2-for-1 yourself to help a matchup that's already fine. Because it's obviously a fine play as a 4 mana thing, but at that point you're casting a 4 mana 3/2 that pretty often has no ability attached. It was by then most of the relevant cards have already been cast. It just isn't very exciting. Maelstrom Pulse seems good with all the Rhino tokens running around. Yeah, that's fair. Need Assassin's Trophy, it's never dead. See, something being never dead, I don't think is a reason to play it, because not ever being dead, it does not mean it's never bad. Giving your opponent a land is usually actively bad. If you're trophying your opponent before turn 4 or 5, pretty often, most of the time, that extra mana you've given the opponent over a few turns is gonna kill you. I've played Trophy a handful, and I've never had it be actually good. If you know the permanent types you're actually trying to target, then I think it's completely reasonable to just tune your removal slots to killing those things. Right now I'm playing Double Terminate because I'm worried about Eldrazi Tron and Stormwing. Keep this. We got one of each walker. Lantern? Well, I feel like the ultimate on this is definitely going to come up, and as long as they don't needle it. So we've got Blooming Marsh on top. I actually kind of want to draw that. Oh no, I don't, because I've got Red and 6. That's my next land anyway. What year is it? Sure. They've got Brutality on top. Brutality would be good versus Bob. I'm for sure just going to play the Ren and 6. This is an uglily shaped window. Got another Ren and 6 on top. What year is this? Trophy is good versus Tron 2. Yeah, but I can't tell you how many times I've trophied a Tron land on turn 2 and then just have lost anyway. Like, it's not... I don't think it's as good as you think it is. Like, I've done it. I've been there and done that. It's just, you kill a Tron land on turn 2 and you're probably still not winning. Like, that means you're not applying pressure on turn 2. And applying pressure on turn 2, I feel like, is like the first big thing that you need to do. Are we writing down their draws? Nah, that's fine. They named Ren and 6. Sure. So, I think I'd rather just get the Liliana online first. Because an ultimate is a very real thing. We've got this this Ren and 6 in our hand that does nothing. So we got Thoughtseize on top. So Thoughtseize will probably end up taking the Grist. Also, having small number of trophies isn't realistically going to swing your Tron matchup. Cards like Chama out of the sideboard will, however. Yeah, I feel like that's accurate. Like, if you're trophying a land on turn 2 just to prevent them from getting Tron on turn 3, you're not applying pressure, you're just giving him more time to reassemble the Tron anyway. If there's one thing that deck is good at, it's assembling Tron. Delaying it for a turn or two when you're not applying pressure is not going to get you there most of the time. That's been my experience. Gotta imagine the Grist is not long for this world. Like, the ultimate on that thing seems very real. Pressure isn't important if they have Tron. Nothing you're doing is more powerful than what they're doing. Well, that's what your discard is for. You need to make sure they don't have the powerful thing to pay off. Like, you are the beatdown deck. If you're not playing Goyf on turn 2, like, you're just not pulling ahead, you know? They named Liliana as well. I think I am playing Goyf now. Goyf hits for a lot. We just need to avoid an ensnaring bridge now. Having this be a tap land is kind of unfortunate. The best strategy for not losing a Tron is to avoid getting paired. Fair enough. Pressure is always important. Makes them think about what they're doing. Makes them think about what you're doing, or something like Trophy only makes them think about how they need to replace that piece you destroyed. Yeah, like you need to be the beatdown is the way that I experience the matchup. And if you're disrupting the Tron deck that just usually gets there anyway, without pressuring them, like I just don't feel like it's gonna. I just don't feel like you're gonna have a very good time more often than not. All right, let's lead on attack and then go double Goyf, or sorry, double Bob. And Ren1412, thank you for the follow. Unfortunately, Ren, you've been pithing needled. They've got Jar on top, so they may need to dig. They may need to do some digging for a bridge, but if they hit a bridge, then we could be in trouble. We may have to just finish the game with burn spells. Their one card is collective. I believe that's accurate. Yeah, they have to shuffle. They're digging for a bridge. If they find even just another copy of Whir, that works too, because they can improvise. Hey, we did it. All right, Jund Trophy incoming. Let's take out all of these removal spells. How many colorless producing lands do they have? Not sure how many. Let's bring in Ashiok for sure. Brutality might be good. Is Spellbomb any good? It is, right? Because like they could start looping stuff with their various put stuff on top lands. Plague, because they sometimes play Thopter combo. That is a very good point. I'm glad you bring that up. Thank you. There's no way that Break the Ice is good, right? Need some artifact and enchantment. We've got Kolaghan's Command. Kolaghan's Command's very good versus this opponent. I'm not so worried about enchantments out of this opponent. Unless they've got Leyline. I think I'm cutting Ignobles here. This game's gonna go long. It'll be good if I can power out, I guess, exactly Grist or Liliana, but it feels like the only good case for it. So is Break the Ice gonna hit enough? Don't think so. Let's do this. I'm gonna keep the bolts because they can go face over a bridge. Yeah, I mean, we've got turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Goyf, and we've got some reach damage. They've mulliganed once, that's good. There's a Lantern. There's their Leyline. I guess I'll play the land they know about. Reflex, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess we'll just play the land that they know about. So they're drawing Leyline. They've got Thoughtseize and Voidwalker. Wow. Well, I guess I'll just take their Thoughtseize. Their Voidwalker I can just bolt. They've got Urza's Saga as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess Urza's Saga might revive this deck. They've got Voidwalker on top, too. Kind of got to bolt that one. I could still just play a Tarmogoyf. Jeez, more land on top. I might even just pay 3 life so I can not draw another land. So their hand is Urza's Saga, Leyline. Thing is, if I fetch, it gets sucked away. Kind of have to just bolt this, huh? But the thing is, if I'm not applying pressure, then what am I doing? Feel like there's no good option here. Drawing 2 lands doesn't help. I can't run in 6, buy back the land because then we get swept away. So I guess I'm bolting. Is there any reason to wait? Nah, that's fine. Go. And I will have to respond to them casting this. Ashiok, holy moly. So this will get Stomping Ground. So another land on top. Crap. There's the Saga. So their last card's Leyline. Another land on top. Jeez. Jeez. It's a lot of lands. So this can make, I guess at some point, a 2/2. They make 2 2/2s, right? Because they can respond to the trigger on turn 3. You want me to get a fetch and shuffle? But then I'm not playing Goyf. Like, I think I have to race them here. It's going to be hard to race them given the Saga, so you may be correct. But I kind of have to get lucky as is. I need to find not more lands. Holy moly. Well, I mean, now I'll do it. I guess I'll attack first. I can't block because of Shadow. I guess I could block the 2/2. Gonna attack. It's a lot of lands on top. Green, red. Wait, Lantern is the beatdown now? Yeah, pretty much. This is cool. So knowing they can't actually cast anything here, they should probably just activate this in response. Yep. Got Relic too. Alright, we're dead. I don't even want to know what's on top after I shuffle. We're just dead. So they brought in Voidwalkers. Should I bring pushes back? Maybe I bring brutalities. They kill the 2-drop all the same, but this can maybe take whirs. Can also drain them if we need extra burn. It's not insane, but it doesn't seem great. Saying push kills the token, that's true. We've got a lot of ways to kill the token though. I wonder if they're playing Thopter Sword, if they're playing all this Dalthy stuff. Probably aren't. We saw Urza's Saga. Maybe Break the Ice just is good enough. We have K commands to kill token. We also have Liliana's. And we've also got Kolagon's commands, and we've also got Grist's. Is Break the Ice going to be good enough? On the play, maybe. We need a lot of cuts, though. I think I'm cutting Engineer and hoping that they just don't have the Thopter plan. I feel like they just don't have enough room for the Thopter plan. Yeah, I don't know what else to cut. We need 2, though. So I have a solid opinion on Grist yet. I think it's good. I don't know if it's very good, but I think it's good. Maybe I just cut my other 2 Ignobles. Thing is, like, so many of my good cards cost so much mana that ramping into them seems good. I don't think I could bring in other Ignobles. Do I want Obsidian Charmaw as well? I only have a minute. Jeez. Need Bloodbraid, need Liliana. I don't need Bone Crusher. Everything else seems great. Like, this card actually seems phenomenal for -5ing. Like, they have to answer it. They're milling us out, probably. We could also just, like, kill Dalthy with it. Let's do this. I mean, maybe Bone Crusher is just better than Brutality in terms of... In the context of killing the Voidwalker. Yeah. Please no Leyline. We know they're playing it. We saw them draw it. I mean, if they don't have it, we get to go turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Tarmogoyf. We only have 10 creatures with 10 creatures and the 3 Grist. Maybe the -5 isn't enough. Well, I think they're pretty likely to be at less than 13 by the time we pop it off. Like, I think we only needed to do like the last 5 or 6, for example. So they've got Voidwalker, Inquisition, Lantern, Pixis, Talisman, 1 land. Grim Overdose, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. So they've got the combo of Lantern and Pixis, so maybe it's worth it just taking that. If I let them Inquisition me, they can't take both Glyphs, but I might need both Glyphs to win, assuming they can't get a bridge down. I think I like just making sure I've got access to 2 Glyphs, which would mean I'm taking Inquisition and keeping them both protected. Because if they push the first thing, the first Glyph, it feels like I'm gonna have a hard time coming back. Like I would need to find another threat. There's the Lantern. And Twin to Win, thank you for the follow as well. We drew a land, cool. Well, I don't want that land, so I think I'll shuffle it away. They've got a land on top as well. That's pretty lucky. Let's get Stomping Ground. Cast first Tarmogoyf. Why does this window default to being so big? It's pretty annoying. Another land on top anyway. Alright, so we know their hand. They've got River of Tears and these 2 cards. I guess there's Pixis. Liliana on top. They probably have to get rid of that. They unfortunately don't yet have a land that we can hit with this. So I think I'm just going to go Goyf Blood Crypt attack. I guess we'll attack first. I think this is going to be a race to can you find bridge. And I guess I'll play the Verdant because I can get a fresh look at something on top after they inevitably remove my Liliana. Brutality on top. They've got Urza on top. Jeez. They've got the mana for it, and they found the Whir. Talk about nutty. I mean, this could have maybe been prevented by taking one of the two Lantern components. This feels pretty bad. So their last card's Voidwalker. We're drawing Brutality, which doesn't really do it. Rough. Something good, please. Oh, that's not good. I guess Inquisition takes Voidwalker. Goyfs are 2/3. We'll add creature, that's it. I can sacrifice the Peelin to get access to the Spell Bomb immediately, but it doesn't really feel like it does much. Take that. We're up to 3/4 now. We don't even have an attack. This is not going well. Angel Duffla is the Lantern guy. Well, we've hit him. They just did an attack. I guess they're just planning on whirring. Let's see if they want to let us draw this. Is Urza the best card in MH? So you talking about the Saga? The Saga's very good. We haven't seen it yet. Well, I guess we'll draw Thoughtseize, but they just have a Whir. So it doesn't matter. Like, we Thoughtseize them here, they just Whir in response. Get Bridge, we'll just lose to Urza eventually. Came from the Lantern Discord. Everyone else is on green-black. Yeah, I mean, all of the cool new cards are green-black, right? So it makes sense. Do we have an attack here? We would remove creature, and when they whir for an artifact, they just grow the construct anyway. We don't have an attack. I think we're locked. This gets bridge, right? Yeah, I don't know if the Saga is the best card, but it's certainly good. So we might be able to ult a Lily. I mean, we also have Kolaghan's Command that isn't out. They're spinning Urza in response. Yeah. You got a Talisman anyway. They've got Inquisition on top. So this is our window, right? We need to sacrifice Spell Bomb now, and we need to have 2 good things on top. If we have 2 good things on top, because they've got the Pixis. I guess they could also sacrifice Lantern, but then they're playing in the dark. Oh, pun unintended. Yeah, they just let us have this. That Liliana ain't sticking around. Yep, they got under us. So we're pretty much dead. If they find one more copy of not a lantern, of a mill 1 effect, I can safely concede. Because the odds that we've got 3 good things in a row are astronomically low. But 2 in a row, that's still hard, but possible. Tenderless 420, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Urza hitting whir. I guess you can do that for 0. There's the Shredder too. So this is our last window. I guess if they cast it, this gets shuffled. They get what? A welding jar? Yeah. So welding jar is going to make it even harder to heal the bridge. Alright, we need to draw not a land. Total PC Lover, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. So, if we don't find 2 good things right now, I can concede. Swamp. The more annoying thing is that this window keeps resetting. Alright, we're dead here. We're very easily dead here. Yeah, we can kill the Urza Saga. I should have done that on the way out just for the style points. Alright, so I'm going to do a wrap-up for purposes of the recording. So the new cards that we've been trying out were Ignoble Hierarch and Grist to the Hunger Tide. And again, I'll repeat what I've said before. These numbers are not at all because I think they deserve to be existing in these numbers. They're just because I want to get data on them, so I just want to see them as often as possible. So that's why I'm playing as many as I am. I'm not at all convinced that this is how many that I should have in the deck. That said, like, these numbers have felt pretty good. I'm pretty sold on Grist. I think this card is the real deal. I'm not as sold on Ignoble Hierarch. We did have a few games where we were able to cast either a Grist or a Liliana on turn 2, and those games felt really, really sweet, and we won them pretty handily. So, I mean, it's fine. I don't know that it's better than just another card. I mean, like Jund always had the ability to play something big on turn 2, a 3-drop on turn 2 with something like Noble Hierarch or Bird. More likely Bird because it makes the right colors, but we never did, and I think that's for a reason. We're pretty good at grinding, and a lot of the time Ignoble Hierarch, it just feels like a worse land. I think we had 2 games this league where we just wished Ignoble was a land because it was like a land that would be summoning sick. Nick Barbarossa, thank you for the follow as well. So, I mean, I'm not at all convinced on Ignoble Hierarch, and I'm leaning off of it, which was kind of the hypothesis, is that it would be fine, but not super impressive. Wood Implement, thank you for the follow as well. So, like, it does a good job at making our nutty draws nuttier, but after the first couple of turns, it doesn't feel very good. Grist, on the other hand, has looked absolutely phenomenal. I played Grist in a few leagues in one league without the Ignoble Hierarch, and it did really well just as a standalone. And even in this league, when we played Grist on turn 3 without the aid of a Hierarch, it did really well there too. So I'm excited about Grist. I'm not like 100% sold on it yet, but I do think this card is the real deal. I think it's going to be good. We brought in Break the Ice only once, and we brought in Charma I think twice. We've yet to see one of the matchups where these 2 cards are really slam dunks, and a lot of people are running around with their Sweet and Modern Horizons 2 brews, and a lot of those contain the cards that we're playing, so like these cards aren't particularly useful versus, I guess, literally, like, obviously versus the non-colorless land decks. So I mean, I think they're probably going to work as intended when those matchups eventually start rolling on back, but until then they're pretty useless if you never bring them in, right? But the rest of the deck felt pretty fine. Again, not super convinced about Ignoble Hierarch. I am playing fewer lands than normal because I'm kind of counting these as lands. So, I mean, maybe they're good, maybe they're not, but I haven't been impressed these past couple of leagues, but I also haven't been super discouraged the past couple of leagues. So, my position on this is still pretty 50-50, I guess maybe 51-49 leaning no. But I think on Grist, I'm like 70-30 leaning yes. So, high potential, low potential. Oop, where'd my mouse? My mouse just decided to derp. So, high potential, low potential, but not sold on anything quite yet. So that's going to be it for this recording. I'm going to stick around on Twitch for a little while longer after I end the recording. But if you're watching this here on YouTube, thanks for watching up until this point. It was a long one. We're almost at 3 hours. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe on the YouTube channel. And until next time, have a good one and jump them out.